Brand new details on what could have been The Amazing Spider-Man 5, 6, and possibly even 7 have hit. Now, while I don't personally know much about this compared to my sources, which I'll talk about in the video, let's talk about the multiverse saga that could have been spanning from The Amazing Spider-Man 4. Okay, everybody, so it's time to talk about alleged new leaks from what Sony was planning for The Amazing Spider-Man 4, and how that would have been a start of another 2 sequels, aka The Amazing Spider-Man 5 and 6, and also multiple spin-offs. So, according to some reports, if The Amazing Spider-Man 4 did happen, it would have been a live-action Spider-Verse film that saw Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man discovering the existence of the multiverse and being involved in a plot that's orchestrated somehow in the future by Spider-Man 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara. And that there would have been time travel and multiverse travel, and that they would all ultimately, in the end, team up to fight this bigger threat, who may or may not have been a version of one of the inheritors or Morlun or some sort of, I guess, amalgamation version of multiple different Spider-Man villains like that. And that ultimately that was Sony's plan, and this is what they were thinking of all the way back when they were making TASM 2. Now, while this all sounds crazy, I can personally not find anything in regards to official sources or anybody I talk to. And you guys know I've talked a lot about how much I knew about what was going on in Spider-Man 3 and 4 and the Sinister Six film. I had contacts. None of them ever told me anything like this. Literally none of them. So maybe this is getting conflated with some other stuff, like the animated side of things, because I do for a fact know that the Multiverse Spider-Man thing was pitched all the way back in 2016, possibly even a little earlier than that, to Sony, and that it starred Miguel. But we know that that's how the whole Spider-Verse thing with Miles Morales was pitched, and that they decided to then do Miles Morales and save Miguel for the sequel. So maybe there's some stuff here that's getting compounded into the wrong filings and rumors that are hitting, because also, if you really think about it, and what's been stated and what they talked about, Andrew Garfield never once talked about the plans for 4. He teased a little bit about 3, never once for 4, and again, Sony was not in a position to even talk to Tobey Maguire or any of them because they all hated the studio. We know that, like, the person in the middle was Kevin Feige and Bob Iger getting all the contracts sorted for Spider-Man No Way Home. So while this all sounds cool, and I would love to believe it's true, I just do not find this convincing enough. You know, like, it just seems too perfect. Like, oh, Sony was so ahead of the ball on everybody, especially in live action. They were going to do it first. I find that hard to believe because Sony always plays follow the leader.